Hello, everyone. I am Ayşe Gülçil from WWF Netherlands. I warmly welcome you to this live event together with my colleague Fivos Muhilanitis. And we organize this event as a part of our project to scale up barrier removal in Southeastern Europe, made possible with the financial support from European Open Rivers Program. Our aim is to celebrate river barrier removals all around Europe, but also to share knowledge, experiences, and insights to assist and inspire other practitioners and wider stakeholders to take an action and free their rivers. We go live today from North Macedonia, and I'm very excited to introduce you to Ana Čolović Lesoska. Ana is a biologist from the Faculty of Natural Sciences and Mathematics at the University of Kirill and Methodius in Skopje, and she also studied environmental law. She has 20 years of experience in project and organizational management, working for Eko-svest, WWF, and CE Bankwatch Network. In 2019, she won the prestigious Goldman Environmental Prize as one of the 200 environmental activists to have received this global Green Nobel Prize for her campaign to stop the constructions of two large hydropower projects in Mavrova National Park. Fantastic, Ana. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. Can you hear me, Ana?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Welcome again, and we are very happy to have you here today. So this organization is called Eko-svest, and I checked it. It says Eco-sense in English. So it sounds really nice. And would you like to introduce your organization and also a little bit of background? How did you get involved with the barrier removal?
So Eko-svest is an environmental organization that was established in 2002, and I am also one of the founders of the organization. And the main focus of the organization is to change environmental policy, to improve environmental policy, but also practices and also change behaviors of people. To do that through the research and informing the public and the institutions about the changes that need to happen, and the way how we can restore and improve our nature and environment. So the organization works on five thematic areas: energy, climate, water protection, nature protection, and active citizenship. So within the water program, we have always been involved, as you mentioned, with the case of Mavrovo and the prevention of hydropower on our pristine rivers. And for many years, we were advocating to stop the hydropower developments because the hydropower plants in our country built without any significant standards are devastating our rivers and also drinking water sources. So we were focused a lot on this. And in a way, we were always thinking, what else can we do to restore our rivers? What else can we contribute to actually getting back to the natural state when it comes to river protection? And a few years ago, we actually participated in one of the conferences that were organized by the Open Rivers Foundation and other partners from Europe to learn more about dam removal. And we got so excited about it because it seemed like a logical step forward to show that this is really practically possible and that we can achieve this. So we got involved in the whole idea of dam removal, and we became quite supportive of this idea, promoting it here in the country.
Fantastic, really great. And how inspirational these conferences are sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that you recently removed the first barrier in the country, in North Macedonia, and now you are working on the second. Maybe you can tell us more about how easy or difficult it was to start this process.
So it was difficult in general, None of these things are easy. And the reason for this is because dam removal is not really defined or somehow regulated in the countries. I know also in the countries of the Balkans. And first we had to start with mapping. We wanted to work on Pcinja River, the river behind me, and the catchment of the Pcinja River, because we thought that this is the most affected river in the country when it comes to barriers. And we were right, because we identified 46 barriers in the whole catchment area, including the other tributaries of Pcinja River. One of the tributaries, Kriva River, the one where we removed the dam in August, actually has quite a lot of barriers, but this one, the specific one, was already broken and collapsed in the river. So we removed it, and it was quite a success. We can talk a little bit about that later. But the process was difficult because there is no clear authority responsible for restoring river habitats. The procedure, it was quite complex, and none of the institutions actually felt that they have the authority to conduct this. So we had to approach the inspectorate, the state inspectorate, to elaborate why these barriers are obsolete and creating threats to the not only to nature but also to people. And the inspectorate actually issued decisions for removal and ask the municipalities to remove the barriers. And of course, municipalities don't have this planned, and they don't have this in their budgets, or you know, they are not equipped to do this. So they asked for help. Of course, we offered our support to do this together, and it was a success in both of the case of Kriva River and also the Pcinja River, the barrier that we are currently removing.
Yes. Fantastic, great. I mean, the process is, of course, takes long, but at the end of the day, you succeeded, and it's amazing. And I see that you are also I see a very nice view behind you, and also some work is going on. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Fivos, you can show us where Ana is standing now, and maybe Ana, you can show us around a little bit and explain where you are, what we see, where the demolition works happened so far. Maybe you can show us around a little bit. Yeah. Now we are seeing on the map from Fivos. Yeah.
You can maybe, if we can zoom in a little bit, or maybe, move around with. I have assistants here.
Very good.
So yeah, so you can see that this is a very. Maybe I can explain a little bit about the barrier, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see that this is a very long barrier on the Pcinja River. It's a relatively natural area, but this barrier was it was not intended to be a barrier. It was intended to be a bridge for crossing of tanks. So it's not a bridge per se, but it's like a platform made of very, very strong concrete. So you can see like the big blocks on the side. This is very, very strong concrete. It's 53 meters long and more than 30 meters wide. So it's quite big. It was built right after the Second World War for the tanks to go north. Because there was no other way. Probably this was the shortest route that they were taking. And the issue is that now we can see that there are some works done. So you can see this big hole in the middle. This was removed very recently. And this on the right side also, there is another big chunk removed. So now the river is flowing more freely than before. Because before it was concrete left, concrete right, and it was actually flowing, trying to find its way underneath the concrete blocks. So interestingly enough, there is concrete on the top, but there is rocks on the bottom. So it's a bit, it's a very weird construction and very difficult to remove as well. Because inside there is also some steel from old railways, like a steel constructions. Yeah, so it's been difficult. We started on 12th of October. And we're still working. The digger is parked over here, so now they're waiting for the special hammer to arrive, so that they
Yes.
can start hammering these very difficult parts over here.
Okay. It looks like you are really on the halfway of the demolition.
Yeah, yeah.
And why did you choose this one specifically?
Uh-huh.
What was the reason behind it?
Yeah, so when we did the mapping the first time, we actually hired a bunch of experts. There was a fish expert, a microinvertebrate expert, vegetation. We did checks of the water quality, the sediment content. We worked with hydrologists and a lot of experts to actually identify the threats of this barrier to the river. And we realized that the barrier is stopping huge amounts of sediments over the last 70 years or whatever. We've seen that a lot of sediments have been accumulated upstream, and then the river looks like it's flowing with a slope. It actually is not the case, because the sediments have been created over here, and then here we don't have any
Uh-huh.
sediments. But it's also very difficult for the fish to move, because we have 4 different endemic species in the Pcinja River, and some of them are unable to cross this barrier. So their population is stuck downstream, and we all know fish travel upstream to breed. And another issue, which was very important, this barrier was a threat to the safety of the people. So a child was drowned here some time ago, and also the cattle of the people is also drowning, because when there is a high water flow, there were holes in the concrete that were actually creating these vortexes and pulling people down. So there was also it was also the hazardous. It's a threat
Yeah.
to the safety and the life of people. So that was additional point
Very,
for
very
the removal.
important. Yes, very important. And
Yeah,
also because probably it was built as a bridge and then closed the, yeah, it was not constructed as a barrier, but the bridge and
yeah,
then for the, yeah, for the
yeah,
construction it was not also suitable for the river flows.
yeah,
Incredible, incredible. What an amazing process. So you also mentioned about that you work with the experts.
yeah,
How was what was the performance for the pre-demolition surveys? Like how, for example, fish survey, the
yeah.
rescue or hydrological studies surveys. Have you performed that
Yes. Yeah,
studies
yeah.
as well?
Oh, yeah, as I mentioned, so we worked with all these experts also on the microinvertebrates, the vegetation, the fish, geologists, geographers, hydrologists, and engineers. So we were basically first mapping the impacts and so we did all these studies, and we issued this report. We also worked with a legal expert to identify the legal status of this barrier, and also all the other 46 barriers. And then when the pre-demolition works basically started, we spoke to the municipality, and we actually came to the conclusion that we do need a technical project for the removal. So we hired an engineering company that did the technical project. We also did an environmental study for this particular demolition activity. And we will also have the fish expert do the post-removal monitoring. So twice next year, to see what will be the changes in the ecosystem. Of course, vegetation will come back on its own. We know that, and it will be
Yes.
very easy to see that. But I was a bit skeptical and afraid that if we remove this, we might somehow trigger a more fast-flowing river, and downstream we would be, having some problems with erosions. But I was ensured by also by experts and by experts from the Open Rivers program that we are not changing the content. I mean the quantity of the water. It's the same water. It's just that the river has to flow in its original riverbed, which is distorted now. And when it comes back to the original riverbed, it will be flowing slowly. And plus, we will not be removing. Maybe we could move at the end of the interview a little bit down, and I can show you that upstream there is a small island. Which is
that would be
naturally
great.
slowing
Yes.
up the I can show you later on. Yeah.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. How long did it take the surveys? Is it like a year, or what was the
Yeah.
duration?
Yeah, so first year we did for the mapping of whole Pcinja catchment. And then 6 months for the preparation of the technical project, including the tender documentation for the company that's going to remove it. So that was short. I think we lost a year in between because we could not get the institutions to act. And this is why we had to try the alternative solutions and go to the inspectorate. Then inspectorate was going back and forth to municipalities. Then I had no responses from municipalities for a long time. But, at the end, it worked fine. Yeah.
Yeah, because there are so many parties involved, so it takes time. And I just wanted to see how average it's a year process to do all this pre-work, preparatory work, let's say.
Yeah.
And of course, you mentioned a lot about the back and forth communication with authorities, with civil engineering companies, and the work. My next question will be challenges. Of course, there are many challenges. Maybe you would like to highlight some of the challenges that you faced with, and for example, the anything unexpected, social opposition or anything else that you think that is important to take into account.
Yeah, I would identify the biggest challenge in lack of any regulation regarding dam removal in the country. Because when the institutions don't know what needs to be done, they're trying to somehow invent procedures or invent new tasks to be done. Sorry, we are back. New tasks to be done because they don't know what should be done, and they don't have a procedure, so they're very careful, and they would rather discourage you to do this rather than to stimulate and to support you. So I found this as a very big issue for us. And if we did not actually work with the state environmental inspectorate, we would not have moved this forward, and we would have stopped. And then we had to, return the funds, because it had no sense to work on a project where you cannot actually physically remove the dam. But then in terms of other challenges, expertise. It's fine to work with the fish experts and microinvertebrates. That's great. But when it comes to the engineering, and when it comes to the actually discussing what will happen with the sediment, and what do we do with this and that, and how do we, there is no expertise here in the country on this topic, because no one has ever done a dam removal. And it was interesting.
They will just demolish, but they will not think of the area, the fragile ecosystem.
Absolutely.
That's what you mean.
Yes. And no expertise in terms of the how the river will act if we do this. Like some predictions or some discussions in this, that I had a lot of discussions with the engineers, trying to also convey my experiences from all the seminars that we had, and all the experiences from others, explaining that it's not like a very like a construction of a building. It is absolutely totally opposite of a construction of a building. But in any case, I wanted to mention the community. So here people believe that this should be removed because of the safety. There are some concerns about the water sources of their underground wells, but we actually try to convince them that removing this dam will actually improve the access of water. And additionally, we actually are now finalizing the national level survey, asking citizens what do they think about dam removal. I'm putting it very simply. Of course, there are more questions there in the survey, so we will know the results and we can actually communicate to the dam removal community about the positions of the population here. But in general, when we were here visiting regularly, we had local inhabitants passing by and saying, yeah, it's great that you will remove it, but could you also construct a little bridge so that we can go to the other side? So of course we cannot build a bridge, but we will talk to the municipality for sure, because it could be actually a very interesting attraction to actually construct a light bridge that for pedestrians. And we were also thinking of using some of the concrete to build like maybe here in the surrounding area, to build like a little monument, art installation that will symbolize the release of the rivers.
Yeah, some sort
But
of a reuse of the whole bunch of
yeah.
concrete.
We are still trying to figure
Interesting.
it out, and of course put a board with the information how it was and how it looks like now, like the before and after element, because I think that's the best communication that we can have. The river is
Definitely.
beautiful. It's beautiful, really. It's beautiful,
Mm.
and it really deserves to be free flowing.
Yes, I mean it's great. And what a nice profile you have made. Like it's of course a safety issue that help people to understand and to support the process. And plus you think of the showing this before and after to the public, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really amazing. I hope you can achieve that all. So of course you mentioned about the benefits a little, but maybe would you like to expand a little bit of what kind of benefits that you think of, like when you remove this, and how do you see the water quality, the fish you mentioned already, but the
Yeah.
sedimentation, the target species, how they are going to be like, and how do you see that will go after the removal?
Yeah. So first of all, I want to mention that we did the testing of the water of the quality, and we realized that the content of oxygen in this pre-dam area is quite low. This means that there is already some eutrophic processes happening before the dam because of the accumulation of the trees and other fallen branches and so on and so forth. So there are already processes happening which can actually negatively impact the water sources of the people that live here. So when this is removed, the fast flowing water will of course and the fact that the sediments and this will be washed out, it will bring back the water quality. Otherwise, the Pcinja River is very clean and free of any toxic chemicals or toxic heavy metals, and the sediment is also clean. So this is very important to enable the flow of the sediment downstream where it is mostly necessary. It's great that downstream there is a little forest and a lot of agricultural land where we see that the river will benefit because mainly of the carrying of the sediment downstream. And also I mentioned the fish. So the fish, these four endemic species which are important for our country and very common for our rivers will benefit because they will not be struggling actually to go upstream. We already mentioned
Yes.
with the fish expert that noticed a drop in the population of some of these important species, and we expect that when this is removed, because of the removal of the previous dam, we will be having around 70 kilometers free flowing river, which means that the fish can actually really have a bigger habitat for them to travel. This is also good for the fishermen. They were very supportive of
Yes.
this project and the one before, which was great. And we think that this is a picnic place because people come here often, so they can enjoy the beautiful river and swim in this river without the
Mhm.
fear of getting drowned by this
Yes.
concrete monster. Yes.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, really. So you already mentioned the first dam, the first barrier removal project.
Yeah.
So if you compare it with the previous removal, how it went, and then how have you seen the benefits already? So in there already, have you seen the benefits already, and you
Yeah.
expect the same here as well?
Yeah. So we cannot compare the two because the first one was a peanut compared to this one. Honestly, because the river was just simply kind of like broken in that case, and
Yeah.
the concrete was inside. And when we actually took it out, it took 4.5, 5 hours to do it. So when the concrete was out, the river was immediately flowing very freely and very
Wow.
quietly and nicely falling into its bed. So immediately you could see that the river is not struggling, it's just flowing very nicely. But it is a kind of urbanized area, I would say.
Mhm.
So it's not like but it is natural. So it's not a regulated riverbed or anything.
Mhm.
We will also, I mean, the sides, the riverbeds are going to recover very quickly.
Mhm.
But I would say that was like a preparatory work for this because I would say that one was very, very easy, and the benefits were visible on the spot,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
um and here we would definitely engage the monitoring and the fish experts to perform the monitoring, because this barrier is physically very, very, very much impeding the movement of the fish. The previous one was not that harmful, I would say.
Okay.
So I don't know if I would compare. I mean, as I said, we started on October 12th, and we are still halfway, maybe not even halfway there. Yeah, so I don't
It's
know. I
amazing.
mean,
So
yeah,
basically, of course, this will be definitely this will need more action afterwards, monitoring and
yeah,
also like following
yeah,
up. But you were lucky, of course, with the first one, and then to show the benefits quickly, and that's also quick win for the public and for seeing the benefits easily. So
yeah,
sometimes maybe it's good to start from the easy one and then go with the other ones.
yeah,
Uh, so talking about the other ones, you mentioned some numbers, 46 barriers you
yeah.
mentioned. And are you planning, do you have plans to remove more, or some of those already in your pipeline?
Yeah. So on Pcinja River and Kriva and Kumanovska, so all these tributaries of Pcinja River, we actually went to pinpoint the ones who would be important to remove. Of course, deteriorated, broken, obsolete, and these were the two that we identified. So in this catchment area, we would not remove others because most of them are actually weirs that are in use,
Okay.
or because we have the fast flowing rivers, so people consider this, and then the engineers consider this to be the way how to slow down the flow of the river and avoid floods. We can argue if this is the way to go, but
Mm.
this is not the battle right now. Now we are focused on actually showing that river restoration is absolutely important, and especially in natural areas like this, we can actually make a difference. So our next project we would like to see happening on the mountain of Jablanica. This is on
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
west south of the country, where we have a monument of nature, a protected site, where a small river has been dammed to create a pond
Mm.
for aesthetic reasons, but the pond is actually in a very bad state with a lot of eutrophic circumstances that is actually polluting the rivers downstream. So we would like to actually remove that to enable the free-flowing rivers and streams in the monument of nature, because it's a protected area. It makes a big difference.
Yes, it
Yeah.
makes sense if you do that in the national park. I was lucky that I have been there, and I have been in Macedonia many times in the past. But this area that you specifically stand, I don't know. But it's really so you are doing amazing work, and it's so nice to hear that, you know, after all that time that I have heard really nice stories already from Macedonia. Thank you so much. So one last question, maybe, Ana. We don't want you to be tired, and we want to show us the last
we will
part.
go.
The last thing
Maybe we can move while you're asking
yeah,
me.
you can also move while you are listening my last question. We are curious. We are curious how you establish the process and the roadmap. Let's say the roadmap that you mentioned already. Maybe you can tell us how the others can follow to remove the absolute barriers. You know, this barriers, of course, you are now doing a really great job. And what is your advice for others? What are the how do you see your roadmap? Wow, it's amazing. Now I can see more clearly.
It's really ugly too.
You should be careful there.
This is also concrete, you know. This has to stay because the digger cannot reach this part if this doesn't exist, you know. So the digger has to cross here. But in terms of the roadmap, I mean, we see that there is the need to regulate this, and maybe, you know, we were thinking whether we would be proposing some more changes to the water law. We have a water law that has been sitting in the parliament for 4 years now and not been approved. But we see the potential of actually intervening in the water law to actually define the river restoration activities. I would definitely go in this direction, because it's also the asset of Eko-svest to work on advocacy and changes of policies. So we see the necessity. If we define it in the regulation, it will be so much easier for others also to take on this task and to do it. But in the meantime, I would definitely propose that such barriers are recorded. We are using the Crowd Water app, where we are recording. We are basically taking photos and pinpointing of these obsolete barriers in the country, and with addressing it to the state inspectorate. We can with their support, we can actually argue that they need to be removed, and then go to the municipality with the proposal.
So you
saying that we can do it together.
You have an app that people can record,
yes, this is
it's kind of like a citizen science
It
tool.
is citizen science. Yes, it is called Crowd Water. It is available on Google Play, and it is hosted by a Swiss university, I think. So basically, what we can propose is also maybe not just for my country, but also for other countries as well. It can be used because it's specifically designed for river monitoring and river mapping. So it's very useful, and we can use that. We also have a green phone line where people can call, and we already had few cases where people were complaining about certain barriers in rivers. So we are also trying to solve those with the inspection, with the municipality. But if we are not able to do that, then we would go to the state inspectorate and ask them to investigate. We provide the data, the science behind it, and when they decide it should be removed, we can go there and provide our also financial through the Open Rivers program. Also, we can stimulate the municipalities to apply through the program with the cooperation of the civil society. So there are many ways. There are many ways. Yeah, we are just trying to find the loops now because we don't have the
Yes.
regulation, but we definitely see that these cases, these actual wins, I would say, would be would path the way towards regulating this also in our legislation.
Definitely fantastic, great, really, wow! Such a process. Of course, it needs a lot of communication, a lot of back and forth
Yeah,
paperwork, maybe with the organizations. Hopefully, there will be a law indeed on this one,
yeah, yeah,
especially for the barriers that are not used anymore and actually
yeah,
blocked
yeah,
away. So
yeah.
there will be definitely more work for you and your organization and also other NGOs to be
Of
involved.
course, but we
Yeah.
are here to do this work. We have the personal and the organizational calling to do this work. So I don't find it problematic. It's not a
Yes.
matter of whether we will do it. It's how we will do it. Yes.
Yes, and also it has to be done
Yeah,
in a very near
absolutely.
future, also with the nature restoration law now in Europe.
Absolutely.
So
And also in our country, because we are transposing the EU directives for sure. So we would
yes,
also need to
perfect.
define the nature restoration in our new nature law.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's definitely a good way to go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Anna, really, it's great and fantastic, and thank you so much for joining us today. I want to ask just a second. I want to ask if we have any questions, Fivos, on YouTube channel. Maybe sometimes we have questions. We don't have any questions. Hopefully, there will be more people watching this. And I don't know if you would like to add anything. I would like to wrap up soon, but if you want to add anything that maybe we missed from this important process.
No, not really. You saw this island over here, which was created by the sediments, and you
Yes.
saw we can. If you have the pictures before, I think they were
Mhm.
shown. There was no water over there where the bushes are, but now
Yeah,
it's just flowing.
yeah,
So
it's what a difference.
slowly releasing the river is actually key in this
Mhm.
case. Yeah,
Very good. Thank you
yeah.
so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you as well. It was a
Such a great
pleasure.
work. Thank you so much. I would like to also say goodbye to all the participants today with us, and please follow us on Instagram, social media, LinkedIn, and also check our case studies, success stories in the barrier removal. I would like to say goodbye to everyone, and goodbye, Anna. Thanks a lot.
Bye.